All right. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. You know, it's this brother Kazak.
That's my
Y'all brothers can state y'all name.
Your brother Yamarion.
Brother Bakash.
So hey, you know, we want to first and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And you know, today we're gonna be you know, basically destroying Christian false doctrines, man. You know, so we finna be destroying Christians' false doctrine. You know, I want to start off with this precept real quick. This the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." So, hey, that's what we finna be doing tonight, man. You know, we finna be pulling down these strongholds because a lot of these false doctrines are a lot of strongholds upon the minds of our people, man. You know, and through the precepts, we're gonna get the understanding, and we're gonna start pulling these strongholds down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. It says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High." Because all of these doctrines, they're against the knowledge of the Most High, man. You know, so hey, we gotta cast them down, man. Because what if it's not about the Most High, then it's not nothing at all, man. We gotta cast it down because it's being esteemed as true knowledge of the Most High, but it's not, man. You know, so we gotta be out there. We gotta pull our swords out and, you know, basically be defenders in this thing, man. You know, that's why I named the channel Defenders of Sound Doctrine, because that's what we do, you know. So brothers got it.
All right, I got two precepts.
Bring it out.
All right, this is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly," right, "that in the latter times," and these are the latter times, right? We're in the end times. And it says, "Some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." So there's going to be people that fall out this thing because they're swayed away with doctrines. They went into different philosophies. You know, they went into the house of Christianity, the house of Islam, right? And it says, "Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience sealed with a hot iron." And it's making our people have their conscience sealed with a hot iron, right? Christianity, right. People have a conscience sealed with a hot iron. It's a lock on their mind, right? But what the Lord say to do? Right, this is Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 9. "Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself." So we have to debate our causes, right? No, why are you guys arguing and shit? You guys shouldn't be arguing. You guys got it. No, we're debating thy cause, right? We have to contend for this, for the scriptures, right? And it says, "And discover not a secret to another." So that's what we got to do. But I got one more precept. Brothers got it.
All right.
Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2. And it says, "But even after that we had suffered before and were shamefully entreated, as you know, at Philippi, we were bold in our God." Right? They had confidence in their God. They were bold in their God. Nobody could have tell them nothing about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Right? And it says, "To speak unto you that gospel of God with much contention." So they spoke the gospel with much contention. You have people saying, "No, that's not true," or "You guys are lying." No, this is not. You're breaking down the scriptures wrong. No, this is who you have. They were debating thy cause, right? And they were slain with the sword. Right, so brothers got it.
kind of quick precept. You know, the classic is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21. It says, "Prove all things, hold fast, that which is good." So we're gonna prove all things. You know, in the Christianity doctrines, they don't prove nothing. They just talk how they feel. Well, I kind of feel this way, but we backing up what we can by the power and spirit of Yahweh Shah.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
I got another precept. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. Because all of these different doctrines, man, you know, they tossing the damn Christian community back and forth. And so even some Israelites, man, they get caught up in these winds of doctrines, man. You know, got brothers believing in the Trinity. You know, brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching the Trinity, man. man, that's going off, man. Brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching the virgin birth. You know, hey, that's going off, man, because we see these things according to the scripture. These things are not true, man, through the precepts and through the proper understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So we can't be tossed to and fro no more by these winds of doctrines, man. It says, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men, because these doctrines came by the sleight of men. You know, they didn't come by the inspiration of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, like true and sound doctrine comes. You know, they come from vain opinions. You know, these doctrines come from vain opinions and from traditions of men. You know, and it says, and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive, because all of this is cunning craftiness, man. You know, these Christian pastors, you know, they go to seminary school just to learn to take a class just to keep our people asleep, man. You know, the so-called white man, you know, they let them get that they let them get all that money from the Christian churches, you know, just to keep our people asleep, because they know that they not teaching no sound doctrine. They're not teaching no truth in them churches, man. You know,
That's right.
That's right.
So, hey, if brothers don't got anything else, then we can just go ahead.
I got
the first subject.
Let me grab this piece.
All right, go ahead, Bakash.
Just the book of Revelation, chapter 14, and I'm gonna start at verse 4, and it says, "These are the ones who are not defiled with women, right? For they are virgins, right? These are those who follow the Lamb, whichsoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being first fruit to God and to the Lamb." That's talking about the elect who was not defiled with different doctrine, man. We wasn't the elect ain't going to and fro. You know what I'm saying? They going to the straight gate. They, you know, they're preaching Yahweh Shah, you know, but they believe on Yahweh. They only believe one doctrine, man. They believe one thing, you know.
Right.
Kind of real quick before we get into it. I'm gonna get wisdom in chapter 4, verse 4. Because you gotta be rooted in this thing, you know. Or if that wind blows, hey, you're gonna kind of go with the wind, you know. The brother just brought up. All right. It says, "For though they flourish in branches for a time, you know, yet stand and not last, they shall be shaken with the wind." So if you're not rooted in it, you're gonna be shaken with the wind, man. Like, you're gonna be tossed to and fro to these different doctrines. It says, "And through the force of the wind shall they be rooted out." They got brothers, you know, believing in something else. Brothers don't believe in the truth. They was rooted out, you know. They want to learn in the book, you know. So,
What precept was that?
Wisdom of Solomon 4.
So, brothers got anything else, or we just go hop into it?
We can hop into it.
All right, So, hey, first topic is the men of the Bible or the people of the Bible are so-called white, or Jesus is white, you know. So, hey, we gotta destroy that, because, you know, hey, in these Christian churches and these Christian communities, you know, they got a lot of portraits and statues of so-called white men and portraying them as men in the Bible, man. So we gotta tear down this stronghold, you know.
I got a precept.
I got.
Bring it out.
All right, this the book of Exodus chapter 2 verse 2, because nobody in the Bible. 2 verse 19, because nobody in the Bible is.
Salakia. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out who making that popping noise.
Yeah, everybody who, if you ain't speaking, mute your mic.
Come on. All right, go ahead, Tazama.
All right, this is the book of Exodus chapter 2 verse 19. It says, and this is the little backstory real quick. This is when Moses, you know, he had seen a Hebrew Egyptian trying to slay a Hebrew, so he slayed the Egyptian. He fled into a city, and in that city you had, I think that you had seven women right there, and Moses helped them get them some water out the well. And when the women went back to their house, they said the Egyptians helped us, you know. So this is just clarifying that the Israelites in the Bible, the prophets and the teachers, they was so-called black people. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. And when they said the Egyptian delivered us, they was really talking about Moses. So that's showing you that Moses he looked like an Egyptian. He was a dark-skinned man. All right.
I got a precept.
Come on, bring it out.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30, right? And it reads, "My skin grows black and falls from me, my bones burnt with fever." So basically what he's saying is, he's basically just saying, I'm a dark-skinned man, you feel me? I'm a dark-skinned man down to the bone, you feel me? My skin is black upon me.
Right. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Song of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 5. I am black, but comely, right? So King Solomon says black and handsome, right? But the way Jake says black today, they say it as their nationality. Solomon is only saying black because he's describing the darkness of his skin, right? There's a difference, right? But when he says I am black, he's describing his skin. And he says, but come, O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, and the tents of Kedar are black, right? And it says, in the curtains of Solomon, look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me, right? Because when the sun looks upon our people, our melanated people, they get darker. So that's how you know Solomon was of a dark skin, right? He was black, right? And it says, my mother's children were angry with me. They had made me the keepers of the vineyards, but my own vineyard had I kept. Right? But yeah, King Solomon was black, right? He was an Israelite, dark-skinned man.
Khan. So this the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 8. It says their visage is blacker than the coal. And what is your visage? Meaning your appearance, your physical appearance, man. It says they're blacker than the coal. This is describing the Jews in Jerusalem, man. This is Jeremiah describing the Jews, how he seen them. He said their visage is blacker than the coal. It says they are not known in the streets, their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered, it has become like a stick. So this is describing the physical appearance of the Jews, man. He said their visage is blacker than the coal, man. I got another precept. This is describing the Most High right here. This is what John was seeing when the Most High put him in that trance so he could receive the revelation, man. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat upon the throne. So he's seeing the Most High right now. It says, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in the sight like unto an emerald. So he described the Most High as unto a jasper and a sardine stone, man. No, that's we gotta be able to look it up. We gotta Google a jasper and a sardine stone to get the understanding. And so I pulled it up, I Googled it, to give you the visual, and that's it. What other people is colored like unto that stone, man. So the Most High God, he's not some white man in the sky. The Most High God, he don't look like David Hasselhoff. The Most High God, he don't look like Chuck Norris. The Most High God is a so-called he could be a so-called black man if he was to come into the flesh, man. Just like the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai. That's a sardine stone right there. So hey, brothers, got anything? Bring it up.
You said Revelation chapter 4, verse 1.
Lock it. That was Revelation 4 and 3.
I'm gonna start at because I know you brought up the Most High, or you brought up Yahweh Shai and the Most High. So we're gonna see, because we know that Yahweh Shai comes in the image of his Father, right? So we're gonna get started on that. So we're gonna go to the book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse. I'm gonna start at 9, right? So we're gonna see some characteristics that the Most High God got, and we're gonna compare it to Revelation 1 and 14 that Yahweh Shai with Yahweh Shai. So it says, I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. So we're going to take the hair of his head was like pure wool, right? So pure wool would be white, right? So like I said, we know Yahweh Shai come in the image of his Father, right? So if you know what Yahweh Shai say, if you see me, basically if you have seen my Father, even though your naked eye has not seen the Father, nobody has seen the Father. But if you look upon Yahweh Shai, then you seen the Father, right? And so this is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14, and it said his hair and his head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like a flame of fire. His feet were like unto fine brass, right? So if his feet was like unto fine brass, then that's color, right? You know? And it says, as if refined in a furnace, as refined meaning burnt, you feel me? As if burned in a furnace. So that's getting darker. And it says his voice as the sound of many waters. So we can take Daniel and go to Revelation and compare the two. And if, like I say, if you seen, you know, if you see Yahweh Shai, you basically see the Father, you feel me? So that's just a description that you know that Yahweh Shai and the Father will be so-called black men, you know?
Con. Brothers got something? I was finna. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2, right? Judah mourning, right? Because we're in the state of mourning right now. Even in this captivity this day, we're mourning. And the gates thereof are language, right? Our gates are protection. It's language. We don't have an army. We don't have a government. We don't have any of those things to protect us under the hand of these other nations. So our gates are language, right? And it says they are black unto the ground, right? If you look at the ground, if you like the soil, you look at the dirt. We come from the ground. It says they are black unto the ground, right? We are describing our skin tone. And it says, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up, right? So the Jews are black, man. We dark as hell, right? In all variations of different skin tones as well. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 12. Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 9.
Bring it out.
Right? Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9. Right? Because we're not just dark, we different shades. Right? And it says, mine heritage unto me as a speckled bird. Right? The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. So most I say his heritage is like unto a speckled bird. And how do we know who's his heritage talking about? We read Deuteronomy 32 and 39, where his lot are, and he's our inheritance, right? So that's what we gotta understand. All right, let's get another one. Let's go to Hosea chapter 7, verse 8, and then I'm gonna get one more. All right. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 7 and verse 8, and it says, Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people, right? Because northern kingdom, they went off into idolatry. They were taking women, right, of strange nations and men of strange of the different nations and having strange children, right? Their children was coming out, and it was coming out either Israelites, but they were light skinned, right? And it says, Ephraim is a cake not turned. If you ever seen a pancake not turned, one side is very light, one side is very dark, right? Confusion of faces as well. Right? This is Daniel chapter 9. And let's start at Daniel chapter 9 and verse 7. Right? And it says, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces as at this day. Right? Because confusion of faces, we see a damn northern kingdom, we look like a damn Edomite. Right? Or you can see Jake and they can actually be an Edomite. Right? There's confusion of faces unto this day. And men of Judah into the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel that are near and that are far off, right? Israel that is near and Israel that is far off. And it says, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee, right? So in every country, man, you have confusion of faces, not just in America, but probably somewhere damn Germany, right? You think they might think they Jay?
Hey, so I want to bring this out real quick. Hey, it's a movie out there. It's called Exodus, Gods and Kings, man. You know, and they was basically portraying the story of Moses and the story of how the Most High used Moses to lead our people out of Egypt, right? You know, and this is who played Moses right here. You know, this who they had play Moses. I believe this is the same brother that played the Dark Knight. You know, hey, this wasn't Moses, man. Hey, Moses ain't look like that, man. Moses wasn't no hunky, man. Hey, this the book of Exodus. We finna prove that. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at 1. It says, and Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Most High have not appeared unto thee. So because the Most High was sending Moses unto Pharaoh to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, man. That the Lord said, let the Israelites go. And Moses was basically saying, they ain't gonna believe me that the Lord came to me and told me to free the Israelites, man. You know, they ain't gonna believe me. So the Lord was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a sign. You know, and this is one of the signs that the Lord told Moses to do. It says, verse 6, jumping down to verse 6, it says, and the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. So, hey, Moses had to put his hand into his bosom, you know. He basically, you know, put it in like his shirt pocket or whatever, you know. And then he says, and he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So, hey, man, that's another false Christian doctrine, because, you know, Christians, they say leprosy is some type of skin disease where you got bumps all over you and all of that, or you looking like the elephant man. No, leprosy is basically being an albino, man. You know, so hey, Moses pulled out his hand, and it was white as snow, man. It was like a white person hand. You know, it didn't look like his normal hand, you know. And it says, verse 7, it says, and he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So it came back at his other flesh, man. What's opposite of white as snow? You know, what's opposite of having white skin, man? You know, it's having dark skin, obviously. You know, so hey, that tell you right there that Moses was a dark-skinned man. You know, that tell you right there that Moses was a dark-skinned man, man. You know, y'all brothers got it.
They did the same thing. They made a movie about Samson, man. They made Samson, you know what I'm saying, a more lighter skin. I'm just expounding on what you were saying about, you know, how they depicted Moses, man. So these damn devils, man, that crafty council, man, you know, they be trying to put their image up as a high stature, man. They be trying to take our, you know, our forefathers and stuff, and you know, turn them into themselves, man. You know, all manner of wickedness, man. Like no respect for Israel at all. You know what I'm saying? No respect at all, man. They want to be just like us, you know. But you'll never be us, Esau, ever.
Con, I got a precept.
Precept.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 10. Brothers, bring that out yet?
What?
Lamentations 5 and 10.
La. No. La.
All right.
You got
Lamentations is a book of mourning from our forefathers. All right. The book of Lamentations 5 and 10, it says, our skin was black like an oven. It says our skin is black. You can't make this up, man. You're going to a Christian.
It's Slocky. Somebody camera. If you speak to everybody.
All right, kind of. Right. So it said our skin was black, man. You can't make that up, you know. All right, you got it, brother Kazak.
Any brothers got any precepts want to bring up?
I got one.
I got one too. I got one after you.
All right, this Acts chapter 13 and verse 1, and it says, right, this is the King James version, right? I'm gonna read out two versions. Right, it's Acts 13 and verse 1. Now there was in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers. Right. So now, if this is about the Jewish man, right? If the Jewish people today are the real Jews, were they ever called nigger? Right? Would they ever call a derogatory name of nigger? No. Right. And it says, as Barnabas and Simeon, right, that was called nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene and son, which had been taught with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. So the prophets was called niggers, right? No Jewish person has ever been called a nigger. You can ask anybody, right? They're not known as the niggers that we're known as, right? I'm gonna go to the same verse, right, in the NLT version, right?
Right.
And it says, among the prophets and the teachers of the church at Antioch of Syria were Barnabas, Simeon called the black man, right? It says called the black man, right? Lucius from Cyrene, Manaen, the childhood companion of King Herod Antipas and Saul. So, hey, man, the prophets was called the black man, the nigger. Hey, man, they would be so-called African Americans today, right? The prophets, all right?
This I got one last precept, and then we go to the next topic. It says this the book of because how did our forefathers first get betrayed as a so-called white man? You know, the heathen did this, man. You know, they tried to cover our faces, like it's saying Job 9 and 24, man. This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. It says, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images. So they was painting the likeness of their images. They was taking brothers that look like brothers that was paintings of Jeremiah, and paint them as so-called white men. Paintings of Moses, paint them as so-called white men. Even the most famous brother from our nation, Yahweh Shai, man. They took him and painted him as Caesar Borgia, man. It say that in Wisdom of Solomon. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 15, it says, for a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image, his child, when he had made an image of his child soon taken away. Because what? Caesar Borgia, he had his son, his father, when Caesar Borgia had died, he had the image of Caesar Borgia painted, in the style of liking him unto Hamashiach Yahushai, man. And that image became famous, and that's how that image became betrayed as so-called Jesus Christ. As people know it today, every time people see a picture of Caesar Borgia, they say that's Jesus. They ain't gonna never say it's Caesar. They say it's Jesus before they say it's Caesar. That's why we gotta break down that stronghold of our people, man. It says, for a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Because what? They do ceremonies and sacrifices to Caesar Borgia, man. The Christian church, they down there having them feasts down there on the Christmas feast and all of that. All of that is to Caesar Borgia and Nimrod, man. So, hey, we got to tear down these strongholds, Hey, if you don't get it now, man, hey, the men of the Bible are not so-called white men. Hey, they so-called black men. Thus saith the Lord, man. And thus saith history, archaeology, and prophecy.
Salakia, you said Wisdom of Solomon.
14 and 15. So, hey, if brothers don't got anything else, we can hop on the next one. The law is done away with. The law is done away with,
Yeah, I got a quick precept from that.
Bring it out.
This is the book of classic. This is the book of Matthew 5, verse
So, like, mute y'all mics, Bob.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. It says, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Now, you'll ask a Christian that, you got to kind of ask them, did Christ fulfill the law? They might say, yeah, but you got to read on in a lot of verse to get the right understanding. It says, verily, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. So until heaven and earth pass, that's when the law gonna be fulfilled, man. Meaning the law is still in effect to this day. And even on a carnal low level, if we didn't have these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we didn't have to abide, you see what's going on in the world right now, all hell breaking loose. They don't have the commandments, they don't have the laws. And when you keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, hey, they get you right in order, man. You become that new man, You're not of the world no more. So even on a carnal low level, that wouldn't even make sense to not keep these commandments. Did you look at the brothers and sisters that's not keeping these commandments? What they on? They might be on crack. I was just talking to a crackhead sister yesterday, man. She was kind of finished. She didn't have no hope left. She said she wanted to kill herself. Why? Because she's not keeping these laws as commandments. But yet the law is done away with. All right. Brother got it.
Right. Salakia, this the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 36. It says, for we that have received the law perish by sin. Because what? Sin is the transgression of the law, right? And it says, and our heart, Salakia, sin is the transgression of the law, and the wages of sin is death, And it says, and our heart also received it not. Notwithstanding, here go the point, notwithstanding, the law perisheth not, but remaineth in his force. So, hey, the law don't perish, man. It say the law perisheth not, it remains in its force, man. The law endures forever, man. This law don't go away. To you Christians out there, man, hey, what is sin? How can you sin? Y'all always talk about stop sinning, but what? How would you know sin if it wasn't for the law? Hey, so brothers got it.
That one after you.
This is going back off what the brother Tazma said, right? With Christians saying, "Oh well, the law is fulfilled," or no, Christ came to fulfill all the law, right? Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at the verse. I'm gonna start at Acts chapter 3 and verse 18, right? But those things which Yahweh, right, before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, right? Because you know Isaiah, right, that King David, all the prophets spoke about the prophecy of Yahweh shall come, right? But what did they say? What was the things that was spoken of by them that Yahweh shall fulfill? Was it about the law, right? And it says that Christ should suffer. Here hath he so fulfilled, right? So he fulfilled the things that was prophesied about him suffering, right? He came to go fulfill those things. Everything that was written about, he came to fulfill those things, not the law, right? And I got another precept. All right, let's go to Galatians chapter 2 and verse 16, right? Because this is a precept that Christians will go to say, oh, we don't have to keep the laws anymore. But like the brother Tasma said, you got to keep reading on, right? And it says, knowing, this is Galatians 2 and 16, right? And it says, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, right? Even we have believed in Yahweh Shah Mashiach that we might be justified by the faith of Hamashiach and not by the works of the law. So they're going to say, well, we don't have to keep the laws because we're justified by faith, right? And we believe in Yahweh Shah, right? And they will say, for by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified, right? Because we're not justified by the law. And that's what they will say. You don't have to keep the laws. But just ask them to read verse 17, right? And it says, but if while we seek to be justified by Hamashiach, we ourselves also are found sinners, right? So we're found sinners while we're trying to be justified by Hamashiach. Because in Luke chapter 5 and verse 32, Christ said, I come from the sinners, right? My repentance to the sinners, not to the righteous, right? And it says, therefore, Christ, the minister of sin, God forbid. So Hamashiach is not the minister of sin. So if you want to please Christ, you have to keep the laws. What is sin? The transgression of the law. So that's why I say you ask a Christian now, you say, well, is Christ a minister of sin? They're going to say no. And what is sin? The transgression of the law. So Christ is telling you to keep the law. All right? So you just got it.
I got a precept just going into Romans. And I'm going to start at chapter 7. And I'm going to go from, I'm going to start at 6. Right? And I knew you was talking about the law. And, you know, brothers get, you know, scriptures like this misconstrued, man, you know. But I'm gonna bring it out, and it says, "But now we have been delivered from the law, right? Having died to what we were held by, so that we should serve in newness of the Spirit, right? So you got to be baptized. You got to become a babe in this thing, right? You got to get that new spirit, man. You feel me? You got to purge out that old leaven, right? And it says newness of the Spirit and not in the oldness of the letter, right? And it says, what shall we say then? So he's asking the question: is law, is the law sin, right? It says certainly not. On the contrary, I would have not known sin except through the law, right? It says, for I would not have known covetousness unless the law had said you should not covet, right? And I'm gonna jump to 12, and it says, therefore the law is holy and the commandment holy, just and good, right? So you got to keep the law, man. You feel me? You gotta become a new man in this thing, man. But you still gotta keep the law, man. You feel me?
Right.
You know.
You know, I got a couple precepts. You know, going back to Romans chapter 7, you know, the first verse, it says, I mean, from the top, it get it right there. You know, it hit it right on the head. It says, know ye not, brethren, this Romans 7:1, know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. So, hey, the law got dominion over man as long as he living, man. You know, hey, this is the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 15. It says, for righteousness is immortal. You know, righteousness is immortal. Righteousness is everlasting. Immortal is everlasting, man. So, hey, what is righteousness? Hey, for that, you got to go through the precepts, Deuteronomy 6 and 25, man. Let's see what that say to explain what righteousness is. It says, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us. So, hey, if righteousness is immortal, then that means the law is immortal, because righteousness is keeping the commandments, man. You got it, Tazama.
Con, I had to bring the brother in. But yeah, let's go to the last book of the Bible. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter into the gates to the city. So it's saying, blessed is they that do his commandments. Hey, this in the book of Revelation. It's for you Christian pastors that say, well, y'all don't go to the New Testament. Hey, this is the last page in the Bible. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, man. Real quick, let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4.
Bring it out.
Baruch, chapter 4. I could find it real quick.
Which one? 4 and 1?
Yeah. Con. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. So these laws, these commandments, they endure forever. Yeah. It says, all they that keep it shall come to life. If you keeping these laws, commandments, hey, let's believe you're going to come to light, man. People going to see that light starting to shine on you. You know, it says, but such as leave it shall die. That's why you see brothers and sisters in the world, you know, they getting smitten with diseases. You know, these famous rappers, they dying, man. Why? Because they're not keeping the commandments. And these commandments endure forever. All right. Y'all got it.
I got a precept.
Break it out.
All right, this is Galatians chapter 5 and verse 13. For brethren, you have been called unto liberty, right? Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh. I mean, it we're not justified by the law. Yahweh shall die, so now we have to believe in Yahweh. So now we're called unto liberty, meaning everything that we do, if we sin, we won't get put to death, right? Immediately, we have grace, right? And it says, but by love serve thy neighbor as thyself. So you have to serve your neighbor as yourself by love. What? That's why when you go over even Paul's epistles, every word can be a precept, right? Literally every word can be a precept. Because what is love, right? Let's go. Hey, 1 John 5 and 3, but let's also look at John chapter 14, verse 15, right? Now it says, if you love me, so Hamashiach is saying, if you love me, how can you love another person? By doing what? Keep my commandments. You have to keep the commandments to love your neighbor. You have to keep the commandments to love the Lord. All right? That's plain. That's what Paul is telling you, right? But they'll just say, "Oh, you just gotta love your neighbor." Well, what is love, right? That's what you gotta do. All right, brothers got it.
Come on.
I got some.
Bring it out.
This the book of Psalms, chapter 119. I'm gonna start at 33, just to expound on, how David, he even knew, like, the benefits of walking in the law, keeping the law, right? And he made many songs about it. He threw up many songs about it. And it says, teach me, O Yahweh, the way of your statutes, right? And I should keep it to the end. Give me understanding, and I should keep your law, right? Because if you keep the law, you feel me? That's ultimately keeping you from facing death, man, right? And it says, indeed, I should observe it with my whole heart. Make me walk in the path of your commandments, right? So if these things didn't matter, David wouldn't have said it, right? Wasn't David a friend of the Most High God, right? So if David was touching on these points, right? That's just another example for us to keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying?
I got a precept. And hey, this whole book of Psalms, hey, this is beautiful. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 115. It says, "Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God." So, hey, David Hart was perfect with the Most High, man. We could really just keep going on, but for the sake of time, this whole book, of Psalms. Hey, David said, "Depart from me, I will keep the commandments of my God." Hey, David was one of the mightiest, men to walk this earth, man, and he kept the commandments.
Salaki, it say David was a man after the Most High's own heart, man.
Con. So we don't have to keep the commandments. Like, come on now.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna grab the classic and then we can go ahead and switch to the next topic. This the book of Matthew.
Oh, never mind.
Salaki, what happened?
I thought you was gonna grab Ecclesiastes 12:4.
Oh no, this the book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse 16. It says, out of the words of out of the Lord's mouth itself, man. You know, Yahweh Shah. You know, you can't get around this. It says, and behold, one came and said unto him, good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh, that is the Most High, Yahweh. Hey, that's a Trinity cut right there, you know, to you Trinitarians. But I'm gonna keep going. It says, but if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. So, hey, Yahweh Shah said, keep the commandments, man. You know, if you want to enter into eternal life, you got to keep the commandments. That's what Yahweh Shah said, man. You know, out of his mouth, that's red letter. That's red letter. That means it came out of his mouth, man. He said to keep the commandments. So don't say that Yahweh Shah said that the law is done away with. You know, Brother Tazama already touched on that, you know. But if brothers ain't got anything else, we can go ahead and hop into the next topic for sake of time.
Con.
The next topic is who are the Gentiles?
Yeah, I want to get a quick precept on that. So you got to understand, it's two different types of Gentiles. You know,
right?
You have Gentiles being referred to as other nations, and you have Gentiles, Israelite, who converted into Gentile customs, and they was called Gentiles. What book do I want to get? Yeah, Con. Let's get the book of 1 Corinthians 12, verse 2.
Con, I got one after you.
All right, Con. It says, ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So how can you once be a Gentile, now you're not a Gentile no more? That don't make no sense. Meaning, the Israelites were Gentiles because they was carried away into the customs of the heathen, you know, custom of the Greeks, the Romans. Okay? Bring it out to that.
Con, Salakia. This the book of Salakia. This the book of Ephesians. You know, let me backing off what you just went off of, you know. This the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 12. And it says that at the time ye were Salakia, hold on. Salakia, I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision. Because what does it mean to be circumcised? Let's get a precept on that first. We'll go to the book of Galatians, chapter 5, and verse 3. It says, for I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to do the whole law. So to be circumcised, that means you keeping the law. To be uncircumcised, that means, you know, you was out here, you know, you was living like the other nations. You wasn't really living according to the laws, statutes, and commandments. You wasn't really living according to the customs of your people, you know. It says, so let's go back to Ephesians. It says, wherefore remember that ye in time past, ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. Verse 12, it says that at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of the promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. So how was we aliens from the Most High, man? You know, we got to go through the precept. Like, this is the book of Ezekiel. I believe I'm on chapter 14. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14 and verse 5. It says that I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. So that's how we was alienated from the Most High, through our idols, man. Like the brother Tazama just said, we was Gentiles in time past, you know, being carried away by dumb idols, man. You know, hey, being alienated, when you type in alienated on Google and you click in synonyms or the definition, it says to be estranged from something, man. You know, so that's how you break it down. You know, I'm gonna read it again. This is Ezekiel 14:5. It says that I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. So those Gentiles that Paul was writing to, you know, they was estranged from the Most High. You know, those was Israelites that was dispersed through the curses, man. You know, and following after Gentile customs, following after the other nations. So y'all brothers got it.
Brothers got precepts. Brother Stallone. You brothers can hear me?
Khan Salakia, my bad. I was getting
I
some.
seen brother had dropped out.
Yeah, let me see if I can add him on. Oh, you know, yeah. Khan, so hey, being a Gentile is you not knowing the Most High. Like me and our other brothers up here, we was one time Gentiles, man. But now we know the Most High. You know, now we back doing the commandments, keeping the commandments, having faith in the Most High Yahushua. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 4.
Bring it out.
Because it's not that deep. That's all it means, you know. What's that? Come on. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 4. It says, "For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." So we didn't know the Most High. That's why we were Gentiles, man. We didn't have the Most High on our side. Reading on, it says, I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Why does the Most High keep saying thou hast not known him? Because we have not been keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We were Gentiles. We was in the dark, but now we brought back to life.
That's why you had a lot of our forefathers. They was going out, writing to different churches and stuff, man, because they was going out to seek the brothers, the other Israelites, those who were living like Hellenized Jews. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See.
I got a precept on that. Just what you said. What's that precept? It say I think it say he was speaking not to only, but to the Jews only. He was speaking to the Jews only.
I got that right now. I'm holding it in the clip. I'm holding it in the clip. That's it's Acts 11:19.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking about Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 9:19 on down when he was, but
you
yeah,
can bring it out.
Now go ahead, you bring it out. Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring this out. This the book of this I got two precepts. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, "These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles." Because what? Like Brother Tazama said in the beginning, it's two types of Gentiles, man. Gentiles, that just mean, other nations, it just means nations. When you click into the Greek, it means nations. So hey, it's Yahushua said, "Go not into the other nations," but what? It says, "And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." And I'm gonna bring this other verse out that we were just talking about to prove the point, man. To prove that the apostles, they kept that same commandment, because that was a commandment by Yahushua. It's the book of Acts, chapter 11 and 19. It says, "Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen travailed as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but the Jews only." So they was only going to the Jews, man. They was only going to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. Just like Yahushua told them to do. They was out there, whether they was in Philippi, whether they was in Philadelphia, whether they was in Ephesus, whether they was in Laodicea, whether they was in what's another church? Salakia. Any of the 7 churches, man. They was only preaching to the Jews only, man. You can't get around that. Brothers got something?
I was just gonna example of
That's the note.
First Corinthians 9:19. And when he was speaking, he was like, it says, "For though I am free of all men, I have made myself a servant to all." Right. So we know he's speaking to the Israelites, and it says that I might win the more, and to the Jews I become as a Jew, right? And it says that I might win Jews, right? So if you got to become a Jew as to come as a Jew unto the Jews, that means they don't really, you know, they live in different. They don't really know who they are too much. You know what I'm saying? They under the law of Christ, but he trying to graft them in to come to the Most High God too. You feel me? And then he gonna say that, right? And it says, as the Jews become as a Jew, that I might win the Jews. To those who are under the law, as under the law, that I might win those who are under the law. It says, to those who are without law, as without law, not being without law towards God, but under law towards Christ, that I might win those who are without law. So he's speaking to the Israelites, right? Trying to win them in, but we doing fishing, right? You know, talking to trying to get the elect, trying to gather the elect, right? Con, that's it. You brothers got precepts.
Salaki, I didn't know I was muted. I was sitting here talking. But hey man, all the letters that Paul was writing to the lost sheep, man. No, hey, like the Lord said, I believe that's Jeremiah. It says, "My people have been lost sheep," you know. So hey, that's who Paul was writing to. He was writing to the lost sheep that was scattered abroad. Like I said in James 1:1, the 12 tribes are scattered abroad, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is how we know that Paul was writing to our people, man. It says this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers," he said our, possessive. You know, I don't want you to be ignorant that all our fathers, it says, all our fathers were under the cloud. Who was under the cloud, man? Other than the Israelites, man. Let's go to that. You got to go to the book of Exodus. I believe that's chapter 14. It might be 13. Slakia. I might have to find it real quick. But I know it's chapter 13, though.
Kind of okay, Exodus.
This the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 19. It says, "And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud." So hey, the children of Israel, they was being led by the Most High in a pillar of a cloud, man. You know, the Most High had a pillar of a cloud ahead above the Israelites to let them know, you know, hey, you know, we moving right now. But when the cloud stayed, they stopped moving, man. You know, whenever the cloud was sitting stagnating in one spot, the children of Israel, they wasn't moving, man. They set up camp, and until the cloud was ready to move again, you know, that's when they got back on the move, man. It says in this verse 21, Exodus 13 and 21, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people." So hey, that's how the Lord was leading our people, man. So Paul is speaking like our fathers, they passed under the cloud, man. Meaning these had to be descendants of the Israelites that was freed from out of the land of Egypt, you know. Let me go back to that. Moreover, 1 Corinthians 10 and 1, "Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea." Because what? The Lord gave Moses the power to part the Red Sea, man. You know, and our forefathers, they walked through that. Our forefathers and our foremothers, they walked through that, you know, coming out of the land of Egypt, man. You know, so hey, Paul was writing to the descendants of the Israelites, man. The 12 tribes that were scattered abroad, like I just quoted in James 1:1, you know. You got something?
Nah, we can move on.
All right. Come on, we can move on. Hold on, let me see what the brother said. Oh, okay. He said he'd be back shortly. Come on. Let's go to John 3 and 16. Or you want to wait for the brothers for that one?
I don't know how long he could take back, but we could wait for Brother Bakash to come back.
I'm right here.
All right, come on. We could do John 3:16.
I'm
Yeah,
right.
John 3:16, not that.
All right, come on. Let's get into it through the Spirit. You know, we're gonna do probably this one and probably one more if we got time. I don't want this to be too
We can
much
do-
over an hour. You know, we might have to come back and do a part 2. You know, through the Spirit, either tomorrow or some other time during the week, Lord willing.
You heard me out.
You said what?
We can do the Trinity next, and then
All right, come on.
This is the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. Y'all could just pull a precept.
Come on.
It says, that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So, according to the scriptures, it's more than one world. You know, even
Right.
in the, you know, you got the sea world. You know, the what's that other world?
The world of sports.
Right, the world of sports. You know,
You got the world of doing nails. You know how females do their nails. You know, you could type in on social media. You could basically type in anything, and it's gonna give you like everything that has to do with that subject. You know, in every subject, that's a world within itself, man. You know, you could just type in soccer. You could type in soccer when you click the little search bar on Instagram. You could type in soccer, and it's gonna give you every post, everything that got to do with soccer. You could type in fingernails. It's gonna give you every post, everything that got to do with fingernails. You could type in ocean, and it's gonna give you every post, everything that got to do with the ocean, man. So everything is like a world within itself, man. And the Israelites, we're a world within ourselves, and we that world that the Most High is talking about, you know. Because you got a precept.
No, I'm listening.
I had a quick
Okay, I'll go take another approach, but I'll go ahead and what Tazama said, you know, it's multiple worlds. Let's go to that. Hebrews 1.
I got it.
Bring it out. Bring it
All
out.
right. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 2. Hath in these days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world with an S, meaning it's plural. Right. Okay. You was gonna bring out Isaiah?
No, you could grab it. I'm finna take a different approach on it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, and this is precept upon precept. All right, it's not that deep. No, it's not rocket science.
You know, but Tom can't see it.
Yeah, we don't have to make a crazy equation for this, like Esau. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. It says, "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end." So the world that is talking about in John 3:16, that's talking about the world of Israel. All right.
Let me add on Salakia. We keep going out.
Okay, real quick. Let's go back to John 3:16. It says that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but shall have everlasting life. Now, who is the whosoever is talking about? Real quick, let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21.
Bring it out.
Real quick. This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. So right there, and it's talking about in the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter, it's talking about the men of Israel, man. So about the word of Israel, and the men of Israel call upon the name of the Lord, they shall be saved.
I want to bring this out because, you know, Christians, you know, they like to talk about how we be bringing things out of context. You know, they don't never talk about how they bring John 3:16 out of context. You know, hey, what is the context of this conversation? Who is having this conversation? You know, this conversation is between Yahushua and Nicodemus, man. You know, let's prove that. This the book of John, chapter 3, verse 1. It says there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from the Most High. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except the Most High be with him. So this is a conversation between two Israelites, first of all. So how can you include the whole world when this is a conversation between two Israelites, man? You know, and a lot of people, a lot of Christians, they don't never read, you know, what Yahushua said before John 3:16. It says this. Let's start at verse 14. It says, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Who was the serpent in the wilderness lifted up to, man? You know, hey, let's go to it. You gotta go to the book of Numbers. I believe that's chapter 21. Book of Numbers, chapter 21, I believe verse 9. Salakia. Book of Numbers 21 and 9. It says, and Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole, and it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he had beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in Oboth. So, hey, man, that was for the children of Israel. Moses put up that serpent for the children of Israel. It say, just like how we had to look upon that serpent to be saved from them snake bites that the Most High was causing us to get, you know, for going off. You know, hey, we got to believe upon Yahushua, you know, to be redeemed for our sins, that when we transgress against the Most High's laws, man, in that same manner, you know. So, hey, y'all brothers got it.
Precept, right? Just to show, all going back to the world and the earth are two different things, you know, because they want to make that synonymous. Like y'all brother said earlier, world, it goes in the definition, it means society, right? And this is Psalms chapter 90 and verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, right? Even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art Yahweh, right? So the world and the earth was was formed. There's two separate entities. They're two different things, right? Now, who is the world? We know what the earth is. Now, who is the world, right? It's another precept showing that the world is Israel. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 20. I'm going to start at verse 19. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 19. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Who's the world that's going to be fighting with the Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua against the unwise, right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25 and verse 12. So let's find out that who the world is that's going to be fighting with Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 12. Thus saith the Lord God, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them, right? That was an unwise act that they did. That's what they did against Judah, right? And it says, verse 13, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom. He's going to destroy Edom. How is he going to destroy Edom? And will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. So the Most High is about to go to war against Edom, right? Verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So the Most High is going to get his vengeance on Edom through Israel, right? And it says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord. So the Most High is going to fight against the unwise with the world of Israel. Let's go to Zechariah. All right, get the book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and 12. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. Right? When I have bent Judah and filled my the bow with Ephraim, and raised up the sons, O Zion, against the sons, O Greece. So the sons of Zion are going to be fighting with Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua against the sons of Greece, Esau, Edom. Right? We just read that. Right? And it says, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. Right? So that's the world that's going to be fighting against the unwise in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 20. Right? So the world is Israel.
I got a pretty.
Bring it out.
Just finally on the brothers were talking about the worlds, you know, as we know, Israel was, you know, the world that he was talking about, right? And 40 Yahushua sent the 12 to go after, right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 6. And it says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start from the top. I'm gonna go to 5. And it says, these 12 Yahushua sent out and commanded of them, saying, do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter the city of Samaritans, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as you go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right? That's the world that he was supposed to, you know, that's the lost sheep that he was supposed to go to, right? The 12 tribes of Israel. The Israelites, tribes of Israel. And even the kingdom of heaven only got 12 gates. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of him to go into every nation? You know what I'm saying? To save everybody in the whole entire world if the kingdom of heaven only got 12 gates. Right? So that's why he sent them to go towards the lost sheep, the house of Israel, the elect, that world, you know.
So we can probably get into one more. We can probably get into one more.
You had a pre book.
What you doing, the Trinity?
Should we do it now or should we save it for the next one? I mean, save it for the part 2, because we gonna have to come back and do a part 2.
Yeah, we can do it. It don't matter.
Y'all want to get into it right now, or y'all want to save it?
We probably.
But the Trinity, hey man, we can really get deep in the Trinity.
Yeah, we could get.
The Trinity get deep now. Hey, we can get into it, but hey, that Trinity get deep. You know, we'll probably be here another 15, 20 minutes on that.
We got nowhere to go.
Let me see. How about we end it off with? I mean, it's a simple one. It says, women can lead the congregation. You know, because in a lot of these Christian, you got women pastors, man. You got women pastors in these Christian churches, man. Hey, is the Lord dealing with that? Is the Lord dealing with that? Y'all better just let me.
Nah, I don't understand how you know nah, that's definitely they going off, man.
I got one quick.
It's even order in this thing, man. Go ahead, you bring it
out.
All right, because that's kind of off. I don't know where they get that from, but this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2. We could start at 11. It says, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to observe the authority over the man, but to be in silence." It says, "For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in a transgression." Right? Because you look at it, even in America, the woman is the weaker vessel, man. You know, you tell a woman, hey, you smooth talk a woman, hey, she might do anything you want her to do. You know, that's why women can be in the power seat to teach. And plus, women, they go off emotions, they go off how they feel. If you tell a woman right now, be like, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Hey, she'll kind of be into you just because them words, they feel good to her. They make her feel good. With a man, hey, man was made, you know, not to kind of deal with emotions, man.
You can even go to when you look at 1 Corinthians 11, and it says when we go to verse 3, it says, "But I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God." So it's an order in this thing. You feel me? The Most High only set up men throughout the scriptures, you know, holy men to, you know, preach this gospel, this word, man, because like the man is a strong, is a, you know, looked at as strong. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, I said, women go on feelings, but a man gonna get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? He gonna let him know what it is and what it ain't.
Real quick. You got it.
Con, this the book of Numbers, chapter 27, and verse 16. It says, let the Lord, the power of all the power of the spirits of all flesh set a man over the congregation. So this is Moses, man. You know, Moses ain't asked the Lord to set no woman over the congregation. Moses ain't say, hey, I'm getting kind of tired. You could go ahead and let Miriam have my spot. No, man, Moses knew that was going off, man. Hey, he said, let the Lord set a man over the congregation, man. A man is it's our nature. It's in our nature to lead, man. It's in our nature to lead. It's in a woman's nature to be led, man. That's why Bakash just brought out the order, man. That's why the Lord gave the order like that, because it's in our nature to assume to these roles, man. And when you try to get a female that's assuming power over men, everything got an order now, man. You got the woman assuming authority over men. Now the damn kids don't respect the father, man. And they just treating the daddy any kind of way. Hey, the daddy like, hey, I want to take y'all to go get some ice cream. I don't want to go nowhere with you. Who is you? Hey, I'd rather go with mom. Hey, mom cook better than you. Hey, mom take care of the house. Mom pay all the bills. I'm gonna respect mom more than you. Hey, man, that's throwing the whole family structure out of order, man. And Esau knows that, man. Don't it say in the book of Isaiah? Salakia, if I can find it. Salakia. I believe it's Isaiah chapter. Is that 20? Salakia. No, Salakia, brothers know the precept where it say women rule over us.
Kind of. Isaiah 3 and what's that? 12. You think you looking for that?
Salakia, let me check. Khan, yeah, right. The water. This is book Isaiah chapter 3 and 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Because what? The so-called women, the white man, so-called Esau, he gives the woman better work positions than us. He gives the woman Section 8. He gives the woman food stamps, and what? And then tells her that she can't have a man in the house. So that puts her automatically in charge of the family now. Because the man is out of the house, man. Salakia. I thought Bakash needed to get added on. Salakia.
Yeah, it was just.
But yeah, man. So that throws the family structure out of whack. I'm gonna read that again. It says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths, man." So they destroying the family structure, man. They destroying the way of our paths. Hey, brothers got it.
Hey, roughly paraphrasing. I know it's a scripture that's basically say, matter of fact, it's best if I find it. Go ahead, brother. Let me find it.
I gotta let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, and let's start at verse 11. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. First
Right.
thing, how to be a head of a church if you have to be in silence with all subjection. Who are you in subjection to? Like the brother said, bring out 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2. You're in subjection unto the man, right? But I suffer not a woman to teach, right? So how are you the head of a church, but you're not supposed to be teaching, right? You're only supposed to be teaching other women in and let's say you're an elderly woman, you're supposed to be teaching the children. And it says,
Right.
nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. And that's out the New Testament, they like to say, right? These are New Testament concepts, right? As you like to say, right? And it says, for Adam was first formed and then Eve, right? And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression, right? So the woman went off first, right? Hey, the serpent didn't go straight to the man; he went to the woman because he knows that's the weaker vessel, right? So let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. All right,
Brother just took my precept.
yeah. This 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34, and it says, let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. So they have no permission to be speaking in the churches, man, right? When brothers is breaking down topics, right? When brothers is kind of sharpening their iron with different brothers, the women got to, they got to help the children, tend to the children, but not kind of interfere with the brothers, what the men got going, right? And it says, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law, right? So the laws also say, right? And if they will learn, and Paul just taught the law, right? He says, as also in the law, right? That's a cut, right? And it says, and if they will learn anything, let them ask of their husbands at home. So if they're gonna learn anything, they better run to their man, right? Trying to lead a church, you gotta run to your man first, right? And it says, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. It's a shame for you to speak, but you can be a head of a congregation in the church. Is that what you're telling me? The first deacon woman, man. Let me get another one. Let me get one more. All right. Let me get one more. Let me go to the book of First Peter. First Peter, chapter 3. This is First Peter, chapter 3. And let's start at verse 5. Let me start at verse 5. Right, and it says, "For after the manner in the old time, the holy woman, the holy woman. This is the woman that our sisters need to be looking up to. Sarah, right? Judith.
You brother just stole my precept again. God, that's the spirit though. That's the spirit though.
So the sisters gotta be looking up to the holy woman, right? And it says, who also trusted in Yahweh, adorned themselves, being in subjection to their own husband. So if the women of times past were holy in subjection to their own husband, what makes you think that you can go out and be a head of a church? Is you better than Sarah?
Right.
You better than Rachel? Right?
That's
and
right.
It says, verse 7, likewise do husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife as the weaker vessel. So the wife's the weaker vessel, right? And it says, and as being heirs together of greater life, let your prayers be not hindered.
I got a precept too. I like the brother was just like the brother Marion was just expounding on women being a weaker vessel, man. Hey, when she was enticed, man, with that wickedness in the book of Genesis, man, she gave in, right? And then just the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, and I'm gonna go with verse 24. And it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, man. So hey, look, man, it's simple. That weaker vessel, hey, that's how sin came into the world, man. So of course the Lord put, he put the heavy duty job on the man, somebody with a more stern belief system, that ain't weak in the spirit, that's uplifted in the spirit, man.
Con, I got a precept. Back to what I was saying earlier, like women, they go off emotions and how they feel. Most time not dealing with emotions. He's not a Salakia. He's not a respectful person, man. He don't care about how you feel. If you don't feel like keeping the commandments. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26, real quick. It says, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. Meaning she like to, she got a little mind game, It says in her hands as bands, whosoever pleases God shall escape her, but the sinner shall be taken. So the Most High just said, hey, if Solomon is saying, I find more bitter than death a woman, why would you have a woman, an evangelist in a church, man, praying for brothers? First of all, she probably got blonde hair in her head that's going off either way, Jump it down to verse 29. It says, lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, for they have sought out many adventures. Meaning the woman, she wasn't made upright, man, but man was. It's just that, man, hey, they sought out many adventures.
That's right.
Meaning, hey, they went into many different doctrines, They flesh kind of, took hold of them.
You can look at Lot's wife, man. Lot knew what to do with the spirit, man. He was trying to get away from destruction, man. Trying to do the right thing. And woman, she looked back, and went back into the world, man. Got destroyed, man. That's how the women they just weak. They got weak minds, man.
Con, that's a great point.
Brothers got anything else?
Nah.
Kazak, Gemarion?
La.
Come.
So hey, with that, we gonna go ahead and call it a night with it. We got through about 5, 6 good topics. We got about 1, 2, 3, 4. We got about 5 left. So hey, Lord willing, we come back with a part 2 on this thing, man. But I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Brother Kazak.
Brother Josh.
Marion.
Hey, Shalom.